Here's a look at a recap of your markets on this Thursday, the 5th day of June. Cattle futures just blew the roofs off today and closed sharply higher. Starting to see some feedlot trade, mostly in the south. The north still basically at a standstill. We'll start off with those numbers today. Texas has reported about 4,013 head. Kansas, 8,010 head. Earlier trade was reported from 225 to 228, but most of the live sales today reported at 230, both in Texas and Kansas. That'd be $8 higher than last week. In the north, Iowa and Nebraska still basically a standstill. They're holding out for much higher money this week. Still yet to be determined if that will come to fruition or not. Some early sales, very light volume, live at 235, dressed at 275. However, that doesn't sound like it's going to get a lot of cattle bought, at least the way things are looking currently. Box beef cutout values, choice closed up $1.69 at $366.85. Select 11 cents lower at $356.61. Those values based on 97 loads of cuts, trimmings, and grinds. The choice select spread at $10.24. Before we look at the futures markets, we'll take a look at the auctions around the state today. It was a light day both at Mocan and Mid-Missouri stockyards. New Cambria livestock market, they were expecting to have about 1,000 head. Not done there yet, but we'll take a look at the way some of the cattle have sold so far. 4 to 5 weight steers at $395 to $492. 5 to 6 weights at $394.5 to $435. 6 to 7 weight steers at $339 to $390. Some 7 to 750 pound steers, $327 to $327.5. Heifers weighing 4 to 500 pounds, $368 to $404. 5 to 6 weights at $355 to $374.50. Just a few 6 to 7 weights at $307 to $328. Taking a look now at those futures markets, live cattle for June up $4.50, $222.90. That's a big gain for the day, but that's still way behind where the cash market is. August live cattle up $4.47, $216.82. October $3.37 higher at $213.97. Feeder cattle posted some impressive gains as well. Story there's just a bit opposite of the live cattle, as the feeder futures actually at a premium over the cash market currently. August live cattle $309.15, that's up $5.27. September $308.30, up $5.15. October at $306.07, up $4.80. The CME cash feeder cattle index, based on 800-pound steer up through the 12-state feeding region, gained $1.34, establishing another new record high. That puts the value at $304.86. Lean hogs for June, 87 higher, $100.85. July, $104.80, down 22. August at $107.05, down 45. Turning our attention to the grain markets at the elevators around the state on Thursday, soybeans 7 to 12 higher, wheat 2 higher, corn steady to 3 higher. Corn bids in St. Louis, $4.60, Kansas $4.47. Soybean bids, St. Louis $10.75, Kansas $10.56 to $10.81. Wheat bids in St. Louis $5.45 to $5.48, Kansas City at $5.40. On the board of trade, corn contracts, July was up 3/4 cent, $4.39.5. September up 3.5 of $4.31.5. December $4.48.25, up 4.5. Soybeans for July 6 3/4 cent higher, $10.51 3/4. August at $10.46.5, up 7 3/4. September at $10.25 3/4, up 8.5. Wheat for July 2 1/4 higher, $5.45.5. September $5.59 3/4, up 2.5. December $5.81, up 2. Soybean meal for July was unchanged at $297.10 a ton. Soybean oil for July, $46.65 a hundredweight, down 16 cents. With the Missouri Department of Agriculture, that's a recap of your markets for Thursday. This is Tony Hancock.